Because people are so angry.
Saying you're a liar. You misrepresent who you are.
All right, listen up, y'all. You won't believe the tea I'm about to spill. Blake Lively's life is basically imploding right now.
She seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully. She's rather mean.
Z-list actress Blake Lively is panicking.
And it's juicier than a Hollywood blockbuster gone wrong. This girl went from America's golden girl to the most hated woman in Tinseltown. And honestly, she's got no one to blame but herself.
Control, that's selfishness, that's entitlement. This woman is a monster.
Fans who used to stand her are now like, how did we ever like this chick? She's been exposed as a manipulative liar, a total bully, and yep, a straight-up mean girl.
Court of public opinion, they've lost.
The fairy tale's over, folks, and Blake's the monster in this story. So here's the quick rundown of her epic meltdown. It all starts with a lawsuit.
He is suing Blake Heard for $400 million, as well as her publicist and her husband. He is also suing the New York Times for a lot of money.
Justin Baldoni, her co-star from It Ends With Us, is suing her and her team for $400 million. And he's even dragging the New York Times into it. Blake tried to play the victim card, waving the Me Too flag like a shield.
Taylor Swift's former bestie continues to maintain that she is a victim and that Justin Baldoni is an abuser.
But Justin said, not today, sis. He came with receipts, piles of evidence, and flipped the script.
They orchestrated a smear campaign against Lively in retaliation for her complaining about sexual harassment is unquestionably and absolutely privileged pursuant with New York Civil Rights Law 74.
Everyone's raving about him. Oh, Justin's a gem, a total pro, the best.
This man, guys, is loved, absolutely adored. I have not seen a single person say a negative thing about him. I know a few people who have worked with him. They absolutely adore him. He is apparently just a gem of a human being, a great actor, a great director, wholesome, wonderful, wonderful.
Meanwhile, Blake's looking desperate and spiraling fast. Then there's the PR disaster. Oh, honey, it's bad.
Representative for the uncredited director of It Ends With Us has confirmed that she has hired a crisis PR expert, and one with very questionable experience and ties and opinions.
She hired some ex-CIA dude, Nick Shapiro, to clean up her mess.
According to Fake Lively's team, she is working with Nick Shapiro. He is the CIA's former deputy chief of staff.
But it's like putting lipstick on a pig. No government-level spin can hide the truth. Insiders from the It Ends With Us set say she brought in this shady crisis PR expert, and it backfired big time. Fans saw through her nonsense and were like, nah, we're done with you.
Note the consequence has been terrible for Blake and Ryan in terms of people following them.
The internet doesn't lie, and it's roasting her left and right. Next up, The Hollywood Reporter dropped a bomb on February 22nd. Bam! A cover with Blake slingshotting Justin.
Will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have because the truth should be out there.
Basically torching her career in one savage image. It's iconic and brutal. She tried to spin it, crying sexism, and claiming Justin's the bad guy, even getting Taylor Swift to back her up. But plot twist, it boomeranged right back at her.
A lot of comments that she puts in here that you're just like, why would you want to take over someone's movie? The outfits in this end are so out of touch. No, we don't want to watch bullies like Blake.
Instead of Justin looking shady, Blake's the one who came off as the villain. People woke up like, wait, she's the problem. But Blake's not going down quietly. She lost it over that cartoon, screaming about bias and throwing every excuse in the book. Too late, girl.
Saying you're a liar, you misrepresent who you are. Maybe that has something to do with why you're now being sued for promissory fraud, because you're admitting that you go in there.
Her tantrum just proved she's unhinged, and now no one wants to touch her with a 10-foot pole. Even her Instagram's bleeding followers. 864,000 gone since September, her worst drop in 5 years. And poor Ryan Reynolds, her hubby, is collateral damage.
Something about this story that kind of violates our safety in a way of feeling like people were nice and then realizing that they were totally behaving like psychopaths and were doing something taking it so far as Ryan Reynolds did.
Losing 398,000 himself. Oof, Team Blake's sinking fast.
How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
I didn't like him. Just gonna be straight with you. I didn't fucking like him. So they're both equally repulsive. This publicity stunt last night where they went on SNL and Ryan Reynolds made this like this silly joke, this really silly joke.
Meanwhile, Justin's chilling like a king, gaining 207,000 followers and counting. Hollywood's Team Justin all the way because he's the only one coming out clean.
The version of this for Justin Baldoni was just Michael Scott in The Office, where he's just saying inappropriate things, but not with any ill will. But Blake Lively, much more different culturally, more about the power and thinking that this is about the feminist Me Too movement. How dare you do this?
In his lawsuit, he alleges that the Times cherry-picked communication and omitted context to mislead readers and twist the narrative in her favor.
Taylor Swift, silent as a ghost. If the queen of clapbacks won't defend Blake, you know it's bad. Studios are scrubbing her name from projects. Directors are blacklisting her.
It might have actually cost Blake her entire reputation because people are so angry at how she's been handling the promotion.
And the vibe's clear. Nobody wants to work with a control freak who hijacks sets and turns movies into her personal power trip.
These bullying tactics will not survive in court, and everyone should see their meritless claims for what they are.
He sexual harassed her, and then by the time they premiered the movie, they weren't even speaking to each other. She made him stay in the basement, and Ryan Reynolds turned on him too. And then she claimed that he unleashed a bad PR campaign against her.
That Hollywood Reporter cover? It's the nail in her coffin. One cartoon shredded her victim narrative, and she's been raging ever since, calling it sexist, biased, you name it. But no one's buying her sob story. The internet's dragging her for faking feminism while trying to ruin Justin out of spite.
He finally bumped into someone who was weak enough and not famous enough to stop her, right? This Justin Baldoni, most people had never even heard of him.
Big media's dropped her. Her PR machine's toast, and for the first time, she's got no one left to save her.
Admitting that you go in there and you're like, yeah, I'd like to be an actor, and then you take over everything. I mean, just imagine taking this out of the context of celebrities, and you call a plumber to come fix your toilet.
She's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud. She's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd.
Here's the real kicker. Blake thought she could bury Justin, but she buried herself instead. She's not just the star of It Ends With Us.
Yes, I mean, maybe someday you could be a producer or a screenwriter, but no one contracted with you to do that here. And that's another allegation, Holmes, is that she started to rewrite scenes that nobody had asked her to rewrite.
She turned it into the Blake Lively Show, rewriting scripts, steamrolling the director, and acting like she's Spielberg on a budget.
And she bullied him into giving her the movie where she did her own cut. They released the cut of the movie. He didn't even get to see it. He was the director of the film, the producer of the film, the guy who got the rights to the film, the one who's supposed to be in control. He didn't even get to see it. He was in the basement at his own movie premiere.
Crew members are spilling now, saying it's worse than we thought. She's a dictator in heels, and Hollywood's done with her antics.
Sort of radioactive. In one breath, Blake Lively is saying she was the subject of serious sexual harassment during the filming of It Ends With Us, and now they're making light of it on SNL's 50th reunion show. So tonally, it does seem off, and I can imagine people just wanting to stay away from it. You're going to catch shrapnel if you get involved in this drama at this point.
So yeah, Blake Lively's downfall is a full-on train wreck. Lawsuits, PR flops, and a fan base that's ghosted her. Justin's got the evidence, the support, and the win, while Blake's left with a trashed rep and a career in the dumpster.
Exactly. I think it's so telling how confident she is to just say, I have no qualms lying to the director, taking control of their movie, pulling the rug from them. Oh my God.
No redemption arc here, just a big, fat, the end. Subscribe for more, because this mess ain't over yet.